What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you happen to be new here, my name's Dave, and on this channel I cover Lego investments. Today we are going to be covering the top 5 non-clearance based ROIs that I received during the 2022 calendar year. Specifically, these are ones that came out of the Q4 sales period, which sometimes can see a little bit higher of an ROI. Now, if you saw last week's video, last week I covered my top 5 ROIs as a whole. However, those sets were purely focused around things that you might not be able to find in quantity, in scale, depending on your location. Today is going to be sets that are more around standard pricing. One of them is at MSRP, I believe. So with that, let's go ahead, jump right into the video and talk about my top 5 ROIs for 2022. These are my sealed sets that I sell through Amazon FBA. And with that, set number 1. We're going to do this one reverse order. So set number 1, my lowest, not my lowest, but anyways, my lowest out of my top 5. You got me. Thanks for joining me, by the way. Set number 70672, Kohls dirt bike. You should be seeing that somewhere over here. This is a set I paid $16 for. I'm pretty sure MSRP on it was $20, which if you know what you're doing, right, you should be able to take that $20, get 20% off, $16. You probably could have been buying this thing for weeks and weeks and weeks prior to it retiring. Sold it for $35.08 after fees, giving me a 219% return on that investment. And that's not bad at all, right? Doubling my money. I'm pretty sure the Kohls dirt bike wasn't even that old of a set, which means I probably was able to turn that one around in around 2 years, something along those lines. I didn't put the years that these sets came out in here. Maybe in a future video I'll make a point to do that. Next up, and this is one that I didn't hold for a very long time at all. This is set number 40494, which is the Polar Bear and Gift Box Ornament set. So this is one that's a Lego exclusive, which that can kind of tweak the quantity that you're capable of getting a little bit if you don't live next to a store. But if you do live near a store, you can just keep going back in and buying whatever your store limit is, 2, 3, 4, 5 at a time. So these ones I bought for $10, which meant I think it was $10.59 because of sales tax. Managed to sell for $24.68 after fees, giving me a 246% return. And I think I just bought these last year, which means these had a 1-year hold time. So doubling your money. Christmas stuff is huge. You definitely want to make a point to keep an eye on anything Christmas themed, because a lot of it is very seasonal and only stays in stock for 1 year. So had a lot of success with that one. The next set, I've held this one a little bit longer. Set number 75965, which is the Harry Potter Rise of Voldemort set. This is one that retailed for $19.99. Most of the time you could find this thing for $17.99, or I'm sorry, $16.99. No, this was a $20 set. You should have been able to find this for $15.99 most places. For whatever reason, where I got them for $17. I think it was $16.99 and change. Ended up selling these ones for $42.70, giving me a 251% return on. And this is something, I could have hundreds of these sets here if I would have done it right, but I didn't, right? I went wide, I didn't go deep, and so that's one of the areas that I'm focusing on this year. I would highly advise you give some thought to how wide you want to go versus how deep you want to go. I've talked about that in past videos. Maybe I'll do another one coming up about it, because I've certainly gone a lot deeper this year. And you probably were able to see some of that if you saw my Black Friday sale. Done with the rambling. We got to move this video forward. We're going to top number 4. Number 4, which is really number 2. So, anyway, you know, 4/2. Set number 70665. This is the Ninjago Samurai mech. This one's kind of a cool little figure. I think it had 2 skeletons and Naya in it. I paid $13 for this. I want to say that retail was $15. So I got about 10% less than that is, I think, what I got. But if you did it right, you probably could have got at least 20%. I sold this for $33.94 after fees, which gives me a 261% net return, which is just amazing, right? That's like gold. I bought those at the same time as the Rise of Voldemort sets because I remember purchasing them together, which means it was probably 3 years ago now. But for my game plan, right, I'm a long-term investor. I'm not looking to quick flip things. Don't get me wrong, the Polar Bear and Gift Box set had a lot quicker return on it, but that's not the typical hold period for me. I tend to hold things 3 to 5 years and sell them for double the value. That's kind of my general target there. But we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening this year. It is my intention to do more shipments into Amazon and utilize some other parts of the year instead of just Q4 to make it a little less crazy. Are you ready for my number one? I was really happy with this. This is a set that I flagged early on and knew that it was going to be a pretty good performer, which oddly enough is a Lego Movie 2 set. Do you have any guesses on what set that could be? Let's get into it. 70847, the Sparkle Baby. I think it's Good Morning Sparkle Babies or something along those lines. This is a set, $9.99 was MSRP. I found tons of them at $7. I wish I would have bought more. I did get a fairly high quantity. I think I had close to 20 of these. But I got them for average cost basis of $7 per set and managed to sell them after fees for $25, giving me a 367% return on those sets. It is a smaller box set, which means that typically I try and stay away from them, but there are certain things, some of the micro fighters I think perform really well, and that set just really stood out. I think they can get pretty high. In order to get $25 for it, that means I think it had to be selling for around $32. It was a set that felt a lot more unique, had a lot of little baby figures in them. I think 2 of the baby figs that aren't as common to find in the Lego theme. So it's something that I felt like would be a little bit more diverse and have some interest in. 367% though. I did hold those ones a little longer. Those are probably closer to the 4-year hold pattern for me, which, I don't know. I mean, I'm okay with that. That almost gave me a net, 100% per year return, ROI. So I'm super satisfied with that. That's my top 5 list of my non-clearance based ROIs. And so if I'd have been doing this like I'm trying to do this year, I would have probably had at least 20 to 50 of each of these sets. That's kind of where I'm trying to position. I am still getting the crazy one-offs, two-offs, things like that. I'm not necessarily not getting some of those when I find them. However, for those that I identify as a good deal that I can get in quantity, I'm really trying to boost that number up because I want to be able to find, and when that set hits, I can send it in just bulk. I can do a whole box or a whole case or a whole whatever of a single SKU so that it's less work on me. And when I pull those off, it's just going to help expedite everything. And I'll get into some of that craziness hopefully in some of these upcoming videos. But that's my 2022 top 5 non-clearance based sets. Let me know what you thought the winner was out of these, and if you had anything that you thought was a good MSRP based set that you probably picked up in like the last 3-4 years, that you saw any better ROIs, net ROIs after fees. Leave that in the comments below. I would love to hear some of your successes. Let me know as well what kind of topics you might want to see in upcoming videos, and I'll try and make a point to do that. Again, 2023 is going to be more Lego investment focused. I'm going to stay away from these things that you see over here, which are like toys. Although I'm not going to be covering them, I'm still pretty crazy and insane, and I can't pass down a good deal. So I'm going to try and just keep that stuff not as much on the channel. But let me know what kind of topics you want me to cover. And yeah, with that, I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do for next week's video, and we're going to see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.